Right, welcome back to another video of Age of Mythology Retold. It's a little bit of a carry on here. I was going to do a battle of the Fall of the Trident, but the last mission I did was mission 8, I believe. Let me just double check. Yes. No. Mission 9 was the last one I did, Revelations, and I cannot remember if the video that I've got my friend busy editing and recording, editing for me, was episode 9, well it's episode 10, Strangers, and episode 11, well, mission 10 and 11, I can't remember if that is the case, or if I've messed up and I have not recorded, or if I've recorded a video and haven't sent it, or haven't edited and uploaded it, you know. So, for this, I'm going to do this, the DLC chapter, the new DLC campaign that got released maybe a month or two ago, all about Chinese mythology, which is fantastic. So I'm going to be quiet here and let's just listen to this.
In ancient times, China was ruled by the Yellow Emperor, Huang Di. Under the mandate of heaven, China prospered, and the heroes were revered. After a century, Huang Di ascended to the celestial court, but his heroes remained on the earth. Huang Zhaowu was one of these heroes. For his merit, Huang Di granted him the gift of eternal youth. But fortune and misfortune are intertwined. As Huang Zhaowu remained youthful, his beloved wife, Xiao Li, aged and withered. She reached the end of her earthly days, and Huang Zhaowu was left alone and broken. He sought the aid of the gods. He pleaded for Xiao Li's return, but the gods refused. They only replied, "All must find peace with the mandate of heaven." But for Huang Zhaowu, to defy fate is better than to submit. The world is falling apart. Only destruction follows in the wake of Huang Zhaowu's army. Great God Shenong, I cannot find what you ask of me. Another noble soul who fell protecting the people. Look at how they mourn, how all of China mourns.
He's alive! Is he a demon?
No. He is the one I have been looking for. Favored by Shenong, what is your name?
I am Yan Feifeng, a simple soldier. Why would the great Shenong concern himself with my poor life?
Look! The last of Huang Di's army.
Wait,
Bring them to
no.
Huang Zhaowu.
That fucker must have did a fucking amazing job. Because there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
Shenong chose you to lead
7,
the forces of justice against
like 7 guys surrounding him.
I am only a man, but I cannot deny
The
Shenong's favor.
fucker was a beast.
I will do my best to be worthy.
Yeah.
Vile Taotie.
I don't know much about the Chinese or the Chinese mythology. There is a lot about it, right, that I do not know. I will never attempt to make it seem like I know anything about them, because it is a fucking totally different and potentially strange land to me. I know a little bit about Japanese, I know a little bit about Nordic, a little bit about Egyptian, and a little bit about Greek and Roman. Other than that, I have no idea about many of the mythologies. I just know that fucking everybody's got different ones. All slightly the same, but everybody's got different ones. Like each and every single one of them, I've got fucking dragons. Like, but other than that, no idea. Like I said, this is my first time playing this game, playing this DLC, playing this faction. I got no idea what I was going to do. But I did have a few things that I was going to talk about. Right. Let us pull it up on the phone, so I had to write it down. Right, so, like any anime fantasy, yes, any anime, bloody shite, you get sent to, you die and you get sent to a different world. The gods give you a few different things. Sometimes in the anime it's always some fucking overpowered right shit. So, save this from being like massively overpowered, right? You get sent to any fantasy world you like, and you get 10 skills, items, body modifications, abilities, whatever. Now, for example, a friend at work said that he wanted to be sent to pretty much the fantasy world of the game Skyrim, because that game, he's played it that much, he knows where everything is, he knows how to get all the money, he knows how to get everything he needs. Nothing else is needed done, because he knows how to get everything. He can buy fucking Skyrim, like the entire fucking land. He can pay off all the earls. He can pay off the fucking emperor, you know, and he could fucking live happily. Right? He could buy himself an army, because he knows how to get all the money in Skyrim, which made a valid point to me, you know. If you can go do that, grand. But me, I want a little bit of adventure, right? So my fantasy world would be like any normal like fantasy world, you know, like beastmen, dwarves, elves, stuff like that. But I would like it where humans are winning massively, like massively winning. You know, like me personally, I'm not very religious. I do believe more in the Nordic religions than any other religion, but I'm not religious. So I would prefer to be in a land, right, where there is a fucking holy empire or some fucking sort, right? 'Cause I do hate fucking Christianity, right? Don't believe it. Don't think it makes much fucking sense. But that's my opinion. So I would like it to be like a kingdom like that. That's pretty much rules over majority of the fucking place. And things like beastmen, dwarves, elves, anything that isn't human is beneath them. Yeah, I failed, so I was trying to reload, but obviously that's not going to happen because didn't have the rights. Ceasefire. So restarted from the beginning. Nothing you really need to listen to. I just changed the way I go and try to save more troops. But so I would like to be like in middle of the woods, maybe around a mountain, but a small tribe village of beastmen that have been kicked out, you know, lost their kingdom, had to struggle to find where they are. Me, I'd be happy if that was like my starting location. Hey, I would like to have the Primarch, the Space Marines. I'm sure his name's Lehman Russ. I was meant to look at this right beforehand, but I would like to have like his body, right? There will be a photo right popping up right now, right, what it looks like. You know, but pretty much like with most of his memories of how he grew up right in the books. I would also like to have like a Minecraft building and like mining, like world editing like situation, you know. I want to pick. I decide, okay, look, I don't want to make it too big of a hole. I'll make like a 30 centimeter by 30 centimeter right fucking hole. Boom, I hit it with the pick. It makes a 30 centimeter by 30 centimeter hole. But all the stuff goes into the inventory, right? And I will make like storage space as one of me skills as well, because I'm struggling on skills here. Right, so storage space as well, you know, just like an infinite storage space for all the things that I may not cut down, gather, stuff like that, you know, things that I'll need to have, right? Anything in the storage space freezes, you know. But being able to just change the world massively. The ability to learn new crafts by getting materials. Pretty much when I've got these recipes, if I craft them by hand, they are better, like in every sort of sense, right? So more damage, better durability, sharper, everything. But if I craft them through like the Minecraft crafting system, it's not as good. It won't be as sharp, it won't be as durable, you know. It'll be good, right, for arming an army. But if I was going to make like me self weapons, or like if I ended up having an army, like me generals' weapons, I'd have them be personally crafted, you know. Other than that, they'll all be just like mass produced. I would like to bring me pets with us, right? That's one of me things that I would like to do, right? That would be like an item. So, body modification was the first one. Number 2 was Minecraft building, world editing, like stuff like pretty much like I described it, right? That'd be like a skill and the storage space, like a pocket dimension or something like that. Inventory space, you know. I would say that was a skill to be able to make things better by hand, other than the crafting menu, right, through like Minecraft, like crafting menu sort of thing. I think there was there's a manga that I'm reading that's like that, right? I'll see if I can find a photo of what I mean. Of them like crafting like a bunch of stuff, right, like Minecraft style. But it was like if I did stuff like that, it would be weaker than if I did it by hand. So the before, so 5, and better hand thing would have been 6. The hand thing would have been number 5. Number 6 would have been bring my pets with us. That depends. That like dead or alive, you know. I'd bring them all with us and make them into like huge monsters. So like, for example, I've got a bunch of dogs. I think I've got around 6 or so dogs that I'll probably be bringing with us, right? Yeah, let us double check this, right? So I've got my dad's first dog, and the first dog that I ever saw rigged, which was my dad's dog Rocky. Then I had my friend, right, who was pretty much like a mother to him. Her 2 dogs were Kenny and AJ. Then I had my first dog Draco. Then I had Taylor, Echo, Loki, and Kobu. Right, so we've got 7 dogs. Right, so the 7 dogs would either be like a Fenrir, which is like a massive like Nordic wolf, or like a giant like timber wolves. You know, like you've seen the size of the timber wolves, like used to be fucking, just like imagine that, like twice the size, you know. And like if I've got cats, right? I've got about like 5 cats, you know. That one, Tiggs, Socks, Bud. So about 5 that were mine. So like those 5 cats be like giant tigers or something along those lines. I'm not quite sure what I was going to be. Very rarely you actually see like a giant cat, like a creature. I'm struggling on the last 4, right? So if you've got ideas or if you've got things that you would like to bring out, you can bring it out. Ooh, number 7. Me pets would be out constantly, but I'd like to have beast taming and then the ability to summon the beast. You know, it's like me rescue dog and like Echo and Draco. They were just all they wanted to do was sleep, right? And that's all they pretty much do now is sleep. So I'd like, you know, I'd keep them back. Like I say with the cats just fucking loved, right, sitting in the sun, right, and just chilling. You know, it's like one of my cats, Tiggs, used to sit and lie in the middle of the road, right, that was outside our house, and at the time we lived next to a taxi company, and they were used to have to beep the horn to get me ma or anybody who's in the house to come and out to see what they were beeping at, to tell them, could you please move the cat, it's blocked from moving, you know, we're gonna go pick up a customer, you know. And if nobody heard them beeping, they would come, they would knock on the door, and it's like, oh yeah, your cat's blocking the road again, can you please move her out of the road, right, so she doesn't get accidentally ran over. That cat was a beast, right, but all she wanted to do was like lie down, you know. She lay in the middle of the road, didn't give 2 flying fucks if there was a car coming. So yeah, so I would like the ability to be able to summon the animals, and then like if in battle and they seem to be getting hurt, I can summon them back to what would be home, so they can rest and heal and stuff like that, you know. And then I'm not quite sure what else I would have. So I've got beast human, which would be 7, and number 8 would be summoning. I don't know what 9 or 10 would be. I haven't really thought that one through yet, because a one that is like that gets given to you pretty much is you can understand the language, you can write in the language, you can read the language, you know, pretty much of any inhabitant of the world. So that's always like a given, so you don't need to worry about those. But I would like to hear your opinions on it, and don't have much left of this video. So I'm going to talk a little bit about games, right? The Nintendo Switch 2, for example, right? I've watched somebody that did just a couple of minutes right before I started recording this talk about the Nintendo Switch 2 and how they are going to be charging $80 for the digital, like you can buy it right in the Switch store, right, like on the Switch themselves. $80 per game for that. Even the older games that they are just porting over to the second one, they're going to be charging $90 for you to buy a disc for the game. Now in pounds, because that's what I'm across, it is about 61 quid to, I think it was like 71, 72 quid roughly. Little bit expensive, especially for a handheld device. I understand Nintendo rate is Nintendo, but I don't think DS games were that expensive right when they first got released, you know. But it is what it is. Apparently the game market hasn't really upgraded its prices in a while, and then when they do, they get kicked off. People kick off them like they are, which is understandable. Everybody's in the fucking price crowd, so everybody's struggling with the price. You just wish it wasn't so.
The enemy camp is
Now,
our arrows will set it ablaze.
Japan, to kind of save their citizens right from this, well, to save the Japanese people right from like paying that extraordinary price, they are using a cheaper model, which is a Japanese region based, which allows you, which pretty much means that they have made it cheaper for the Japanese citizens to buy the games and the console and stuff like that, but the only language that they are going to have is Japanese. You can't change it to English, you can't do anything. It's Japanese language, Japanese text, everything Japanese, which I understand, you know. We've got the same situation in UK. We got a bus company, Arriva.
What chance do we
It's
have against
a German bus company. I mean, and it's pretty much just before COVID happened, we would be paying like £4 or £5 for a single. Right? During COVID it was £2. This year it's went up to £2.50. Still fucking a crazy money, right?
We will fight together, and we will
Especially considering I pay, if I'm working 5 days a week, and for me to get from my house to work, I'm paying £100 a month on travel. To buy a monthly bus pass, it is still over £100, roughly. The last time I checked, weekly bus passes would have made it well over 100. But it is what it is, right? But this is a German bus company. Over in Germany, from what I understand, the Germans are pretty much paying nothing, right, for their buses, right? They are paying probably less than what we are, but it is what it is. I want to be quiet here because this is the end of this video. I hope you have enjoyed. If you have, please do leave a like, comment and subscribe. And without further ado, after this little cutscene, bye bye.
Great archer Hou Yi, what are you doing captured?
What does it matter? I may be the greatest archer, the most benevolent lord, and the perfect strategist, but I will die one day because the gods did not grant me immortality. And see Huang Zhaowu, he struts across China. Ungrateful.
Get up, you fool! You are as a kite with its string cut. I come with Shen Nong's chosen, Yan Fei Feng. With your help, Hou Yi, we can finally end Huang Zhaowu's tyranny.
Yet another favored by the gods? I will show you. You will never defeat Huang Zhaowu without me. In fact, I can build a larger army than you ever could. Let us split up, and I may defeat Huang Zhaowu by myself before you and Shen Nong's chosen have found your horses.
Is he always like this?
He may be willful, but perhaps we can turn his pride in our favor.
Right, so, this is roughly what I meant, right? About, like, the mine and soda situation. You see the wall, he hits it, it goes disappearing, boom, 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 and then he gets the brick. And then he just starts placing down, you know? Boom, that's roughly what I mean. For like the world building stuff, give us a moment and I will find the crafting menu. So something like this, you know, it's like brewing stand, you know, tells you what you need to make a brewing stand and stuff like that. And you know, you've got like your furnace, your workbench, and I will be back in a sec, and a bit more of like how the mine and all that, set up block size, you know, boom, you know, nerd pull up, and then you can just start digging down, and then if you just gather everything right in your in your inventory space like this, you know. Just it gathers up and it gets to like X amount of storage, you know. But that's roughly what I mean, and roughly how I would like to have it. You know, it's going to be a little bit more in depth. I'd like it to be a bit more in depth right than this, because that's meant to be iron ore, that's the copper, that's the silver ore, and that's mithril ore, as it points out. You know, so that is roughly what I would like my like Minecraft building, mining, and storage inventory to be like. Something, like I said, it can just be that I create a teleportation device. Well, I managed to teleport me animals, me pets, everything like that back to home, and I will state what home is, right, depending on everybody. So, you know, but it'll be just pretty much like go home, it'll be like the safest place I know is, alright, okay, that's your home, go there, you know. So, for example, let's say if we're being attacked at base A, give us a second. Right, is back. So, for example, right, let's say we're being attacked at A, right. I've got a choice, and let's say each path, right, from base, like where we're getting attacked right at A, you know. We've got home B, home C, home A, right? Getting attacked at home A, and it takes 2 days to get to there. But to get from here to there, it'll take 2 weeks. I'm not going to send my pets to this teleportation hole here, right? I want to send them over here. I'd rather have my pets recover for 2 weeks than for me to send them somewhere that they can recover for 2 days. You know, 2 days to get down here, and this is all like swampland, right? So it's all moist and all that. I do not like how that looks, right? And the same up here, you know, like all this area is just swamp. You know, I'm gonna make the 2 weeks believable somehow. Ooh, give me you, thank you. 2 weeks, and the path through. Right. It's 2 days to get here. It's gonna be like 12 days this way, some shit like that, right? I want to send me fucking animals right to sea, but I gotta choose. You know, I can choose to not use this one and just use this one, or if we're attacked here, I can choose this one. I can choose this one or this place, you know. It all depends, you know. But I'll always be able to check. Ooh, that'll be number 9. I'll be able to keep an eye on the status of allies and pets at all times. But that is all that I mean, right? Other than that, I do thank you once again for watching this video. Hope you have enjoyed, and please do leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And without further ado, bye bye.